Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in. I want to talk to the fellas today. Send this to your brother, your cousin, your boyfriend, your husband, and really just to say, let her love you. Let her love you. And what I mean by that, in these times, I'm really coming closer to and understanding the frustrations, that we as black men have to deal with in America, and really being real about it. And I think a lot of times people, even myself, we try to look for ways to beat ourselves up. We try to look to sympathize and to understand the mindset of the other side, those who look at us and show their true colors to us. We try to look and say, oh, well, this is why it happened. This is why it happened. We'll look at a situation where we were wrongfully treated, and we'll say, well, oh, they did it because he stuck his foot out. So that's why the police killed him, because he stuck his foot out. When they were trying to put him in the car, he stuck his foot out and put it on the car door. So that's why they killed him. And we'll try to sympathize, and we will take that and we'll put all that inside of us. And then it'll start to weigh on us, and it'll start to break us down. And then different men act out different ways. So you have some men that they're going to give into drugs. They're going to get into, smoking, or they're going to get into alcohol, drinking a lot. Some will get into gambling. Some will just get into women. Some will get into, the kick the cat syndrome, where he's taking it out on his woman, taking it out on his kids. Some, it's going to be all of the above. There are some men who are functioning, going to work every day, and they drink, they smoke, they curse, they gamble, they sleep around, and they're toxic, all across the board. And it's coming from, and this is why I always talk about, when I say check somebody's relationship resume, it doesn't mean just knowing who they have slept with, who they've dated. A relationship resume is also, where were you raised and who raised you? You don't ask it like that, of course, but you may say, so were you raised with your mom and dad? What was that like? And, oh, you were raised on the south side of Chicago? Wow, what was that like? I've heard a lot about the south side of Chicago. You may get into that and you start to understand it. Now, as you talking, this guy, he says to you, he said, well, it was tough. I remember one time being at the gas station and seeing this lady get in a fight with this man, and the man hopped in the truck, and she was standing in front of the truck, and he ran up one side of her body, over her foot, over her knee, over her thigh, and over the side of her head, and spent off on her braids, and kept going. He tells you that story. So now you like, this kind of stuff you grew up seeing? Yeah. One time I was at the house and saw my aunt take some boiling water and throw it on her girlfriend, and I just watched the skin melt off of her. Now I'm telling you real stories from my life. I'm telling you, things that I've seen done or heard done that I had to see or seen the aftermath of. But it gets way worse. It gets way worse. And some things that was done through violence, then that's going to have a different effect. Some things were happenstance, some things just happen. And so it may still cause some issues, some trauma, but it may be different. I was in the third grade. We were running a lap at PE, and my friend, he fell and he died. He had an enlarged heart. So here I am in the third grade. For the first time in my life, I watch a human die right in front of my eyes. Now, fortunately and thankfully, it wasn't due to an act of violence or drunk driving. But unfortunately, it still was death before my eyes. And I still see that. I was in the third grade, so I don't know, I guess 8 years old. And I still see that clearly and vividly at 36. And so and I'll be honest with you, since then, I've never pushed myself. Think about that. I played college football, and my coach called me in the office one time and he said, I don't care how good you are. If you don't give 150% at practice, you're not going to play. I've never pushed myself to the max. I won't even work out with a trainer that's going to try to push me past 100%. Now, my wife, she do it all the time. But you know why? It's because I saw my friend die from exercising with an enlarged heart. And I've always told myself since then, he didn't know he had an enlarged heart. His parents said they didn't know he had an enlarged heart. I don't know if I got an enlarged heart. I'm not going to give you 150%. You see what I'm saying? And so I use that as an example to show how all of us, men and women, and this is what ladies have to understand, is I'm a man. Okay, I know you have your situation, your pain. I'm talking from a male perspective, all right? So you can understand a man. I'm not on here to talk from a woman's perspective. So y'all understand that, okay? That's for you to start your YouTube channel as a woman and talk about the woman's perspective. I'm a man, all right? I don't understand everything, the caveats and nuances of a woman's life. I understand some of it, but I can speak from a male perspective. So I say that to say, a lot of times we don't realize how one thing changes our entire life. But see, here's the thing, and here's what I found. And that's why you'll see men who, I notice a lot of men who their father wasn't in the home, they don't get married. Like, they get married at the last opportunity. Like, it's just like, they don't know marriage. They never saw a man love a woman. They didn't see the man that they loved, their father, love the woman they loved, their mother. So it's still, regardless of what you see from other men, still a little foggy on it. So I noticed a lot of men who father were not in the home, they kind of to and fro and may never get married for that one sole reason. And I think a lot of times we don't think about that. We don't think about how that one thing. So when I say check the relationship resume, you really having conversation after conversation, not interrogating, but conversating and listening to the things that are being said and the things that are not being said. Because a man may tell you something he went through, but then he may not tell you what it did to him. Y'all hold on right quick. Got some commercial break. All right, back from the commercial. Had something on my eye. Oh Lord, y'all hold on now. Chill, got caught on my flip flop. Now, this man may have gone through some things, and he tells you. So when he takes and he tells you about what he's seen, he may not say, and that's how this affected me. That may not come after, but you got to hear that too. And so I remember seeing, the celebrity couple that got into the domestic violence situation. And when the young man's story came out, it was he saw his stepfather doing the same thing to his mother while he was growing up. And he had spoke on that and said that he would never do that, but then yet ended up doing the same thing. The reason why is because it's etched in your mind. So when you are in a situation that's heated, your mind goes to what it knows. And what it knows is what it has seen. And it's just a subconscious thing that was never confronted and corrected. And so that's what happens. And you got to understand that. You got to realize that. Y'all hold on now. Thought I heard somebody outside. Nah, hey, gotta be careful these days. Hey, y'all forgive me. Nah, they were trying to break up this message. So I want you to think about this. And what I'm saying to men is that when you look at what you're going through, it can enrage you. When you look at what you've been through, it can enrage you. But what you have to do is you got to let her love you. You got to let your woman love you, because a woman is a lover by nature, and she's a nurturer by nature. So most women really try to love and try to give and try to serve and try to be there for a man. Most women really want to help a man heal through love. Most women really are trying to love his pain away. Love your pain away as a man. But a lot of times what we do is we take that and we spit in her face. And we take her love and we take it for granted. And we use it and abuse it, but we don't appreciate it by reciprocating that equal or greater love. And you know what? I decided to let my wife love me. And it changed my life because I realized that she wasn't out to hurt me. I realized she wasn't out to cause me no harm. Now, yeah, she may want to do some things she want to do and do it the way she want to do it, but it's not going to cause me any harm. If she want to do a birthday party and it costs more than my cheap self want to do, that don't cause me any harm. You see what I mean? But she's not trying to cheat on me, manipulate me, use me, dog me out, have me, doing for her, and she just kick her feet up. Her love, and what I found is that she really is my life coach, my therapist, my confidant, my best friend, my business partner, my lover, everything that God has given her heart the capacity to heal, to nurture. The fact that she carries a child in her stomach, gives birth, which they say is equivalent, the pain is equivalent to breaking 20 bones at the same time. That's what they say giving birth feel like. I can't even think about that without getting the chills. And so this is what she does over and over and over, and then can raise those children. Got to get up every 2 hours, especially if she by herself, to feed the baby. And yet still keep her wits about her. Listen, that's a special human being. And with all we going through right now, with all we going through and everything we seeing in the world, and at all times, I was talking about going to a car dealership. And I put this in a different way. Imagine if you went to a car dealership and you've got your income to $12,500 a month. And the car lot tells you that they can't approve you for this Toyota Camry that's $300 a month. And you like, huh? $300 a month? And I make $12,500? What do you mean? And they said, well, we need to see an account where you got $100,000 in it so that we know you can afford this Toyota Camry. I had an experience like that last week at a car lot. I was infuriated. I'm using that as an example. It wasn't that car and it wasn't that amount, but it was the numbers are the same. Like it equates the same. I was infuriated. I was like, wow, we being killed in the streets by police, and you telling me that you need to see this? And I said to the man, I said, is the bank requesting it? He said, no, I'm not. The bank isn't requesting this. I'm requesting this. I'm like, wow. Are you kidding me? A white man. 2 white men. I said, wow. This is what we going through. So you know what? One of the people who watched my video, thank you for that, sent me an email and told me to file a complaint with Consumer Finance Bureau. I filed that complaint. I want you to know that. I also filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. I also sent it in to a law office. I'm going to see if they respond, because I might file a lawsuit. But think about this now. This what I'm talking about, that's a first world problem. That right there infuriated me. It upset me. It broke my spirit, because I'm like, man, I don't work this hard. And the gatekeeper, the bank didn't even say this. The gatekeeper said, you got to show and prove above and beyond a reasonable doubt before I even submit your information to the bank. I'm like, wow. And so imagine a man who come home and his income has been affected like that. That didn't affect my income. It affected how I spend my income. But imagine a man who come home and his income has been affected. His raise, his promotion, his job itself. And imagine a man who has seen this happen over and over and over again in his life to him. And he's a good man. Imagine this man internalizing, just hitting his head on the ceiling. He is going to take that, and it's going to make him or break him. It's going to make him or break him. I took that situation right there and I said, you know what? It's finna make me. It's finna make me. I got something for him. I got something for him. And that's why I say to men, let her love you. You know, my wife was there. She was there with me. We test drove the car. And it was me doing something for me, because I bought her a brand new car on our anniversary. Bought my mama a brand new car. Bought her mama a brand new car. Bought my sister business a work car, because they work in the group home, drive the clients around. You know, that's 4 cars this year that I bought for other people. Bought another car that I'm going to give away. That's 5 cars this year that I bought for other people. So I said, man, let me do something for me. And then go to do something for me. And that's what happened to me. And at that point, it's like, I'm not finna buy the car cash, because that's going to benefit y'all. And you don't deserve my business. So, but my wife, you know what? Even after going on the test drive with me, the test drive happened before all this happened. Before they started acting a fool. But afterwards, she talked to me and she said, you know, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It wasn't meant to be. They are not intended to get your business. So if you want that car, just go to another dealership. Even though we might have to drive 2 hours, you know, take your business elsewhere. And if they act the same way, take your business elsewhere. And don't worry about it. God got everything under control. You know, and she spoke life into me. She spoke life into me. She supported me. You know, and the moves I wanted to make, the adjustments I wanted to make, she support me. And I get an email that's nonsense, or I get a comment that's nonsense, you know. And me being an empath, being somebody who operate from the heart, I feel everything. But my wife, she'll come and she'll say, what? Man, they stupid. Man, I wouldn't even pay that no attention. Don't even, man, delete that. Don't even pay that no attention. That person is stupid. You know, and she'll coach me. She'll speak life into me. She'll make it all make sense. But it's like, if I just let the world beat up on me, imagine what would happen. Imagine what I would do. Imagine how I would respond. Even with this here situation, you know, she know how I am. So she won't even let me watch too much news. She won't let me watch too much news, because instead we get active. Hey, this business got looted. Boom. Let's give a donation. This business right here, this person out of work due to the situation. Let's give a donation. You know, we get active. We get boots on the ground. Let's get active. But don't sit there and just watch that, because you're going to internalize it. And before you know it, you'll be out there doing something that could cost you a whole lot more. So let's take this route. You see what I mean? And what I found is that a lot of women have that in them. That is, you know, my wife is special. She unique in her ways. But she not the only woman that's like that. There's other women like that. I've coached women and met women that's like that, that's trying to do that, that's trying to be that woman for their boyfriend, fiance, or husband, but he's not allowing them to. And that's why I say to the men, you really got to relinquish that power. You got to drop that guard when you meet a good woman who can stand on her own 2 feet, who loves and respects herself, and she's a classy, upstanding citizen, and she has morals and values and integrity. When you meet that woman, you gotta relax and you gotta let her love you, and you have to stop seeing her as an opponent, and you gotta see her as a teammate, and you gotta listen to her heart, and you gotta understand and stop thinking that she's against you. And you got to realize that if she hurts you, it's hurting her because she married to you or getting married to you. She living with you. And I think what happens is a lot of times people don't see. A lot of times we can't see when we being used or we being taken advantage of, when we being, provoked. We don't see it. I remember when I was on the phone with the man at the car dealership, I was getting rowdy. I was getting ready to go all the way in. And I happened to look over and my wife said, I said, all right, sir. All right, I'm going to let you go. Do what you got to do. You can talk to the bank, then get back to me. And I hung up the phone. Now, I knew he wasn't going to approve the deal. I knew he wasn't even going to send it to the bank at that point because I hadn't already read him a new one and accused him of all kind of stuff. But when my wife said that to me, she said, I know you was getting ready to go somewhere and say some things, and he's not even worth it. Because I had him on speakerphone. He's not even worth it. He's not worth you risking your brand, your name. They already know your website. They know who you are. Don't say stuff that you can't, take back. And she stopped me. And I say, man. I took and I said I wanted an office. But my wife kept telling me, she said, listen, why do you want an office? You got the dream. You get up and you go in your home office. This is my home office. And you work from home. Why you want an office? I say, for the headquarters, my mentor.life, headquarters. So I went, I'm looking around at offices. And for 2 years now, I've been saying I want an office. I want an office. I want an office. My wife been telling me, you don't need an office. You don't need an office. It's a new day. It's new business these days. You don't have to go. Why do you want that life when you have the dream? You wake up when you want to wake up. You walk a few feet to your home office and you can work from there. You coach your clients from there. You do your videos from there. You write your books from there. Why do you want to do what every other American has to do in their life when they would give anything to be able to work from home all the time? And I went and got an office thinking, oh, no, you just trying to block me. You just don't want me to have extra bill. You just want this bill to be spent on you. That's what I'm telling myself. I got the office, $3,000 a month. And I've been in that office 5 times. And I done paid for the office for 3, 4, 5 months. I should have. I tell my wife now, and see, I became man enough to say, baby, you were right. Baby, you were right. So now that's gonna be a $36,000 lesson. And I said, baby, you were right. Baby, you were right. And I'm being transparent with you with the number just to help you understand the value. And that's not even counting the intrinsic value. That's not even counting the things that's priceless, like your time. That a woman will save you. A woman who loves you will save you if you're willing to listen. So I say going forward, anything I get ready to do, if my wife give me an old sour face and she really ain't feeling it, I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna say, well, I'm not gonna talk her into it. See, I talk her into it. And then when I talked her into it, she saw, okay, he really want this. So she said, all right, all right, let's go. Let's look. And she looked. She helped me find the best office, skyline view, 33rd floor. And she decorated it for me, made it look the absolute best. And she get on board and she'll support me. She don't turn her back on me. She don't curse me out because I don't want to listen to her advice. If she know that it's not going to kill me, she'll let me go through with it so that I can learn from it. But now what I've learned is that I got to let her love me. And that she's not against me, that she's not trying to hurt me, that she's not out there to block me. But I got to stop feeling like or thinking like at any time. And I see for us, it ain't like you my opponent when it comes to where, making me want to go cheat and do all that. That's the level that a lot of couples at, to where the man seeing the woman like an opponent, so he cheating on her, he lying to her, he manipulating. I tell my wife everything. Anything I do, even if I'm getting ready to do something stupid, like, hey, I want to get this right here for my mama. I want to get this right here for my barber. I want to get this right here for my security guard. Anything I get ready to do, even if it just don't even sound right, I'll tell her. And just to see how she feel about it. And she pick and choose her battles. She don't knock everything if she know it's not the end of the world. I asked her last night, I said, baby, can I open a bookstore? I've been asking her about a brick and mortar business forever. Because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a go-getter. I need to be making moves. And I asked her about a bookstore, and she said, yeah, that'll be cool. I said, in my hometown, it's a small town. She said, yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be cool. And I said, I want you to design it, because she loves to set stuff up. So I'm incorporating her. Now, she approved that. When I've been asking about a restaurant, no. Food truck, no. So I'm learning, let her love me. Let her use her mind. Because a woman's mind sees things differently. She feels things differently. A woman's intuition is different from a man's intuition. See, a lot of times what I've found is that a man's intuition, that my intuition may be fear or insecurity. Whereas a woman's intuition is the actual sense of intuition. Almost like God's small, still voice in your heart, in your mind. And so I've learned that my intuition a lot of times might be conspiracy. And my wife, she pointed that out to me. The other day, I went to pay on Apple Pay with the Apple credit card. That's on the phone. If you got an iPhone, you can apply for the Apple credit card. So I got an Apple credit card. So some places take Apple Pay. So I went to pay for Apple Pay. I think it was at Starbucks, and it didn't work. And it was like, Apple ID reset. Apple ID need to be reset. And I'm like, oh Lord. So then I close out of there and I go to another kind of pay. Oh, to the Starbucks pay. I was trying to reload the card with the Apple credit card, and it wouldn't work. So I reloaded with my debit card that's on there, and it worked. So then when I get done paying for the Starbucks, I see the Apple ID thing keep popping up. So now, this is what I try to tell you about intuition. And for me, conspiracy. I'm thinking, oh Lord, such and such done hacked my phone. Person who hate me done hacked my phone, then hacked into my Apple ID, trying to get my pictures, trying to get my documents out my phone. I'm thinking all this. I ain't saying it out loud because my wife, she be thinking I'm crazy. And we get on Twitter a little bit later. Apple ID is trending. The whole cloud down. Everybody Apple ID reset. I'm like, oh Lord, this what happened? And my wife, she just looked at me and just kind of, yeah. I say, I'm not even going to tell you where my mind went, what I was thinking. I say that to say, a lot of time with men, we'll have a good woman who we had to work so hard to get into bed with. And we'll think that this same woman that we had to bust our butt to get into bed is out cheating on us. We will tell ourselves as men that she cheating on us, that she's stealing money, that she got a little boyfriend that she's sending money to. We will tell ourselves that. And I remember one time young in my relationship, my wife, she did something. She did something. It was on the phone and it was with money. And I'm just telling myself, oh man, she cheating. Oh, she's stealing money. Oh, she taking the money. She giving it to this friend, giving it to their mama, giving it this. And I was like, no, let me see it. Let me see it. Let me see. Like, no, I'm not showing you my account. No, I'm not showing you my account. And no, let me see it. Let me see it. She was like, fine. I looked at it. It was a gift for me. So I say that to say a lot of times men, because of the way our mind works, we will sabotage the relationship. We will turn an ally into an enemy from our own brokenness, from our own insecurity, from our own immaturity. So my point here is to let your woman love you. See, you got to trust as a man, you got to trust your ability to choose a woman because you're already skeptical. You already don't trust people. You don't trust humans. Like I was talking to somebody else the other day in business, needing my social security number. And I was like, no, I ain't seen no social security number now. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I ain't seen no social security number. I don't trust people. Oh, you can trust me. You know, my pastor trust. I ain't your pastor. The pastor ain't got the sense that I got. Nope. And so I already don't trust people. So if I pick a woman, you best believe I thoroughly vetted the situation. And that's how most men are. It's like you pick this woman from your mindset of already not believing in humans. You're lying down with her. You're closing your eyes. So you're lying down with her unprotected. So anything that she got, you're getting. You close your eyes and go to sleep. She could end you any night. So with all that being the case, you chose her. So if you chose her, why not let her love you? Let her protect you. Now, and don't get hung up right there. I don't mean the woman being a protector. What I mean is sometimes a woman will see something or say something, and that right there is a warning for your protection. So a woman could say, listen, no, don't go out there tonight and do the protest. We have children. Stay home and you can donate. But tonight is not the night to be out there on the front line. She may say that to you. You may ignore it, go out there. Next thing you know, you in a fight with the police, you pepper sprayed, you getting beat down, clubbed down. Now you can't work the next 2-3 weeks. Now you got to spend all this money trying to file a lawsuit. It's not going to get approved because you was out there on the front line and she told you no. That's for the single man with no kids tonight because it's too hostile. She tried to protect you, but you didn't listen. And guess what? Some men, because everybody ain't needed everywhere. Different people play different roles. So if she know you got X amount of dollars that you can donate and help move the cause forward, then the young man who cannot give $1, he may go give his time and use his body and his voice out there. So she said, look, that's his role right now. This your role over here. Because anything could happen. And we can't afford to lose you. So you help this way. You see what I mean? And that's just an example, considering the times that we in, of how a woman may try to speak sense, may try to speak wisdom. And a lot of times as a man, we feel like we buy into that male chauvinist. You know, we buy into that mindset. I'm the man. It's my way or the highway. You don't know what you're talking about. You trying to block me. You trying to tell me what to do. And we'll rebel. The same way we rebel against our mom and our dad when they tell us, hey, don't do this. Don't go there. Don't do this. And we'll rebel. And then we learn the hard way. Same thing with your woman. You trying to ignore her and do what you want to do when it's against her counsel. Because you want to rebel, because you feel like if you listen, that makes you weak, that makes you a simp, that makes you a punk, and that she controlling you and that she wearing the pants and that she called the shots. So you going to call your shot and your shot ignorant. Your shot is misinformed. Your shot is uneducated. So I had to realize it's certain areas as a man that you call to operate in. And it's so interesting to me. My wife bought a folding chair and for the beach. And it fold into like a wagon that you could put stuff in. And then when you get out to the beach, you could take the stuff out the wagon and you could unfold the chair and sit in it. She got out there and I was at home and she was out there for my son's soccer, on the beach. They were doing soccer practice on the beach and they were going to do some little boogie boarding or whatever. And she called me and said, hey, I can't unfold the chair. And that thing really tickled me. It really tickled me because I'm like, here I have a biomedical science bachelor's degree holder, a medical sciences master's degree. I don't have a college degree. So smart, so articulate, know a little bit about everything, and can't unfold his chair. That thing tickled me, but it showed me how. But see, with my mind works differently. So she'll come to me with something that she can't undo or get together, and I look at it and I'm done in 1 second, because the male and the female minds work differently. There, some people try to tell you they work the same, but God wouldn't create identical twins. There's no point of having two different genders if the mind gonna work the exact same. The mind don't work the same. And so what you have to realize as a man is that this woman is your asset, not your liability. And see, as men, we see the woman as a liability. And because we keep telling ourselves, oh, I could lose half. Oh, I could lose half. Oh, I could lose half. Guess what? If that woman on her back, sleeping with you, that woman there for you, she helping you, she holding you accountable, she holding you up, she pushing you, she encouraging you. Guess what? Why are you talking about you could lose half? You deserve to lose half. If you take a stupid pill and go cheat on her, you deserve to lose half because she helped you build 100. You wouldn't have been the man that you are without her support and her encouragement and her being there. And then some men say, well, I already got my money. Well, guess what? If you're a real man, then you're going to know how to pick a real woman, because real recognize real. So if you trust yourself like you say you do because you want to call shots and you want to be shot caller, boss baller, then you ought to trust yourself in picking a real woman. But you worried about losing half because you know you picking with your little head instead of your big head. You picking with your little head instead of your big head. So that's why you worried about losing half. Because you ain't picking with your heart, you picking with, okay? And that's what you got to understand. So, listen, God will not be mocked. God don't make mistakes. So this woman, she is your missing puzzle piece. She is the one that you had the wherewithal and the wisdom to choose to be added to your life. So guess what? Let her love you. Let her be there. You protect and provide, but she also will be protecting and providing. That's why the Bible says, husbands and wives, submit ye one to another. You submitting to one another because it's certain things that this woman going to be able to do that you cannot do, and it's certain things that the man is able to do that a woman cannot do. And when we understand that and when we respect that, we come together and we a power team. We're a power team. Like, my wife is amazing. And she's not trapped by gender roles. She take out the trash. A lot of times she take out the trash more than I take out the trash. But it's some women that's so trapped in a gender role that they say, I'll never touch the trash. I done had women tell me that I'll never touch a trash. Trapped in a gender role. I remember having to be the one to get up every 2 hours to feed our son. He was on a feeding tube. came home. He was born 2.5 months early. He came home. He was on a feeding tube. And that was tough. That was hard. And it's a lot of men say, no, I'll never get up in the middle of the night for no baby. That's a woman job. That's a woman job. She the one got the breast milk. That's a woman job. Trapped in a gender role. So when you truly become teammates, you're going to realize some games Michael Jordan got to sit out. Some games Scottie Pippen got to sit out. So guess what? When you truly teammates, you realize sometimes you got to do what may be traditionally seen as a woman's role. And as a woman, sometimes you got to do what may be traditionally seen as a man's role. But both of you got each other. You got each other. You supporting one another. You encouraging one another. You're faithful to one another. I'm going to tell you, right now, in my household, it is the best it has ever been. In the worst times in the world, in my household, spiritually, emotionally, financially, physically, it is the best it has ever been. And I'm going to tell you why. We teammates. There is no judgment, no bickering, no arguing, no competing, no fussing and fighting, no gender roles, no keeping score. It's just selfless love. It's selfless love and respect. It's like, okay, these your strong points. All right, let's lean on you for this. Okay, these your strong areas. Let's lean on you for this. All right, okay, boom. You ain't Shaquille O'Neal trying to shoot threes. You ain't Shaquille O'Neal trying to break somebody down at the top of the key and get fouled to go to the free throw line. That's not your strong point. You ain't Michael Jordan trying to posting up all night in the post. No, you playing your game. And that's what a team is. Everybody got to do what they have to do depending on their strengths and their weaknesses. And there are times to where your weaknesses have to become strong in your relationship. So I want you to understand this. I want you to understand this, especially to the men. Let her love you. Let her love you. Let her protect you too. Meaning speaking her mind and giving you her wisdom. Because that's protection. I ain't talking about let her put up the dukes and go out and square up with a man for you. That ain't what I'm talking about, okay? I ain't talking about you laying on the couch because you tired of being talked about at work and her going busting her butt 60 hours a week to pay your bill. I ain't talking about that. So don't misconstrue my words. You all the way a man now. You all the way a man. You doing everything you could do. But you respect her mind. And you loyal to her. You faithful to her. You're honest with her. You building her up. You sowing into her. You blessing her. You supporting her. You empowering her. Uplifting her. Now, that's what you doing. And guess what? When you do that as a man, if you chose right, which I believe every man got the sense to choose right. If you chose right, she's going to reciprocate with a love that's so real, that's so powerful, that's so strong. You are not going to know what hit you. You're going to be like, whoa, woman, woo, slow down, woman, what's going on? What is going on? Hey, trust me on this. I'm living this. And when I tell you this here is the blessed life, when I tell you this the blessed life, I really mean it. When I tell you my happiness is 10 out of 10, I really mean it. When I tell you that I'm happy, whole, confident, secure, blessed, and highly favored because of the union that I created. See, love is not found, it's created. Love is not found, it's created. I'm telling you, get your heart right with your woman. Align your life with God and with your woman. and you're going to see your blessings go up. It's going to take some time just to make sure that you really about that life. So you can't turn it on for 6 months and think that, oh, everything going to be peaches and cream after 6. No, it might take a year, 2 years, 3 years. To be honest with you, I've been married 13 years and I'm in a season, and I feel like my season's even going to be better from here. I feel like it's going to get better from here. It's as good as it has ever been, but I feel like it's going to get better. So it shows me that your reward comes with your faithfulness and your diligence, your consistency. You can't turn it on and be Mr. Amazing for 6 months and then everything don't go your way. You get fired from your job, you don't get the promotion, and you like, forget it. What I'm being faithful for, what I'm being kind for, what I'm being loving for, and everything going wrong. No, everything gonna go wrong before everything go right. But that's the test. That's the test to see if you really made a change in your life. You gonna get tested. Not by God. The adversary gonna test you. To look God in the face and say, I told you. I told you he ain't changed. Told you he couldn't be faithful. Told you he wasn't no real man. He don't deserve no blessings. He ain't no real man. You're going to get tested. Make sure you pass that test. And on the other side of that test, you're going to get double for your trouble. You're going to get a double portion of blessings for your faithfulness, for your diligence, for your consistency, for your commitment. I'm a living witness. I'm a living witness. I'm telling you, I ain't met a man more blessed than me. I have not met a man more blessed than me. But guess what? I've not met a man that treats his wife the way I treat my wife. I've not met a man that's going to be diligent and honest and faithful and walk with integrity, not try to get over on people and live there behind the scenes as if the world is watching 24 hours a day. I've not met that man either, but that's the man that I decided to become. So I've not met a man that's blessed me. It ain't about the dollar amount. LeBron James got more money than me, but I don't feel like he's more blessed than me. You see what I'm saying? Blessings is bigger than money. Hey, sit with this now. Listen to this on your long drives. Listen to this on your long drives. Listen to this a few times. Get this really all the way in your spirit. I use myself as an example, and I'm telling my story, but don't look at that as story time about me. Take and apply that to your situation, because there's something in your life that's going to look like that. Might not be the same thing. Might not be an office. Might not be an office space. It might be something else. An old school car you want to get. Might be a set of tools you want to get. You know, might be some clothes you want to buy. Apply it to your life and see how it fits up with you and your woman, and love her and respect her. And I'm gonna tell you now, if she turn out to be a dog, a liar, cheater, manipulator, then hey, I'm gonna tell you just like I tell the women, get gone. You hear me? You got to go. Got to go. Move on with your life. Hey, this Tony Gasson. God bless you. We'll talk soon.